My 17-year-old son Thomas lives in a two-parent home, has food on the table, has encouragement, is involved and is engaged, is in a good school, and he's right now going through the college application process. And I've thought, even in this role with Goodwill and learning and understanding and delivering against wraparound services, think of the wraparound services that Thomas gets and so many of your children get and have received when they were seniors, juniors, and seniors in high school. Wraparound services for Thomas include SAT preparation courses, some tutors, follow-through by his mother. He takes the SAT twice. He took the ACT twice. Work on his essays, a class on his essay, and a constant stress for his father. In fact, I was sharing this story with a friend the other day, and she's going through the same thing, and she's working through her son, who has basically the same background as my son, you know, lots of AP courses, good grades. Uh-oh, I didn't do that. But going through many of the similar situations with a similar background, similar scores, similar grades, and she said, when she shared her woes, she said, "I sure hope I get in somewhere." You know, so if you think about that 29-year-old, that young person that has life getting in their way, that leader, that primary family member who has been unemployed that needs to figure out a new path, and you compare them to a Thomas, and you try to figure out what should those wraparound services be, and how do you deliver them, it's a pretty daunting task that I don't think that Goodwill can do on its own, you can't do on your own, but we have to collaborate throughout our communities to pull it off. But we can pull it off, and the opportunity means that those 1.5 million jobs that require a bachelor's degree, we play a part in making sure that somebody's on that pathway to fulfill that. And it's not as simple as what we all read. We got to understand business. We got to understand the labor markets. We got to understand their needs. I think that's very important. In fact, I think that's a top priority. But we also have to understand the students and their priorities and their needs. And we have to work with them so that they can navigate your systems so that they can then meet the needs of your community in a fulfilling and promising career. And I think that the hope is high. I think the opportunity is huge. And those opportunities come when you have those scary numbers floating around, that real-world economy that we live in every day, and the price of gold doubling and those interest rates plummeting and the crisis happening all around us. Those opportunities come when we come together to solve the problems together. And I see it all the time, especially with this opportunity I have on the White House Council for Community Solutions. The White House Council for Community Solutions is focused on community collaborations. President Obama said, hey, the answers don't come from within inside the Beltway. Go figure out how to highlight, promote, tell the stories, and build some momentum about solutions that come from the community. And the Council has focused its energy on disconnected youth, youth between the ages of 16 and 14 who are not involved in education or working. But what we see is where communities come together and work together, they find solutions. It's that spirit of collaboration that I believe is going to be the distinction between how we're successful or how we fail. So let me share a little bit about Goodwill and a little bit about myself and a little bit about what we're doing with so many of you. And maybe we can do a little bit more of that in a very intentional way and actually close the gap that you're so committed to closing. So Goodwill, you probably know us by the 2,600 stores that are around this country. It's our social enterprise. It's an enterprise that is driven by donations. There's probably not one of you that hasn't dropped off some spring cleaning at a Goodwill store, and we thank you for that. But that donation, that drop-off, is converted into training, into employment services, into job placements, and into case management and other human services for 2.4 million people. That drop-off, when it's all pulled together, aggregates into about $2.7 billion worth of sales in our retail stores, coupled with another $1.4 million in other business, social enterprise and businesses that we are involved with, and grants and other programs that we do in your communities. So revenues total about $4 billion. We serve about 2.4 million people. We place 170,000 people into employment. We have relationships with 100,000 employers throughout the country. We grew from 2009 to 2010 from 91,000 employees to 98,000 employees, and we expect that same rate this year. So we're a big part of the communities that you're a part of, and through all of our enterprising work and through our movement, we're able to touch the lives of 2.4 million people. And I heard the word community college movement. And Goodwill has been a movement, and we still are. And in fact, we launched what we call the Donate movement last year because we know that we have to think differently. It's not a matter of just convenience for those donations that translate into the economics that then convert into training and jobs. It's a matter of being more intentional. And as we've grown to the enterprise that we are, we shift our language. You know, we are a movement, but we also change our language to being an enterprise because of the need for intentionality, for focus, for purpose. But we launched a new movement last year called the Donate Movement, and I want to share a quick video about it, only to tell you how we're shifting our thinking. You know, we have long been a pioneer in the environment by diverting product from landfill. We have not told that story in a way that is meaningful to the world. And the Donate Movement is allowing us to develop a consumer awareness campaign so that people know the power of their donation for your communities and the power of that donation for the environment. So let me run this clip, and it just gives you a sense of what thinking differently did for us in terms of media coverage, in terms of partnerships, but most importantly, in terms of the economic engine that allows us to create more opportunities for the people we serve. See if we can run this, Dylan.
Why are we here? We are here to create an awareness throughout the public, for individuals and for corporations, about the power of donating.